Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. How will advancements in technology help business leaders to combat data overwhelm and decision fatigue? Joining us to discuss, we have Joey Fitz, Vice President of Analytics and Product Strategy at Oracle. Joey, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Great to be here. Thank you.
You got it. And what is decision distress and why is it such an issue for business leaders right now?
Yeah, so this was the largest research done on decision making. It was over 14,000 respondents across 17 countries. And some things that we discovered were not surprising. One of those was that people want to leverage data to make better decisions. And that's reasonable. You want more information to make a more informed decision. However, what we found in reality also reported were some of the challenges with that. To be specific, more decisions, more data, more complication is what folks reported. One interesting stat that came out was that nearly 3/4 of respondents, 74%, said that the number of decisions they make each day has increased tenfold in the last 3 years, which is quite a surprise. They report, feeling like they have to have advanced skills. They know there's great value in the data, but to be able to harvest the value out of that feels like it's more of a headache and a challenge for them. And thus 85% say the volume of data is making their decision-making actually more complicated.
What are some of the impacts of data overwhelm in a business setting?
Yeah, this was a kind of a sad finding, really. 85% of folks said that this is actually having a negative impact on their quality of life. So this is a real issue. Survey respondents indicating both in their professional and their personal life that this overwhelming data and challenge with making effective decisions is impacting them in their personal lives as they make big decisions like getting married or buying a house, but also their relationships with loved ones. So they reported that family and friends, those relationships are strained because of their challenges with how they make decisions. And in professional life, it's like, I'm paraphrasing Peter Drucker, but he said something along the lines of, there's nothing more foolish than to do well what shouldn't be done at all. And we found that in the results as well. Folks feel like because they don't have great clarity, they're spending their cycles maybe on the wrong things. So applying resources, time, and effort, working on the wrong things, feeling burnt out as a result of that, and not progressing professionally.
How is analysis paralysis impacting business performance and overall the bottom line?
Well, this was also a really intriguing set of results. It was really surprising to me that nearly 1 in 4 respondents, this is employees, feel that most decisions in business are irrational. Obviously, that's not what we're trying to have to propel our businesses forward, is irrational decision making most of the time. Almost 3/4 of respondents said that they believe that it's the hierarchy that's deciding things, not the data. So the highest paid person's opinion overrules what the data may suggest, according to 74% of employees who responded. And almost 80% say that it's actually just for justification, that decision-making gets done, and then the role of data is to justify that decision. So it's not data-driven decision-making, it's decision-making with data justification.
Your study found that 70% of business leaders would have a robot make their decisions. So how can AI take some of the complexity and strain out of decision-making?
Yeah, obviously a really eye-catching response that, as we see in the context of the full results of this survey, folks feeling overwhelmed, feeling confused, and sometimes feeling stagnant, that they just end up paralyzed and not making a decision. So how can AI help? A couple of examples that I'll list. One, identifying data sources. There's human bias in selecting which data we should even analyze. So I may think that I just need to look at my sales and marketing data, for example, to answer this business question. But in fact, maybe I should also include weather and location data, et cetera. And the AI service can help us to identify those other sources and identify drivers in the business that maybe we didn't even know about. So that's very valuable. Another one is data privacy. Obviously, a very hot topic with GDPR, the responsibility we have as organizations to protect that personally identifiable information. AI can help here too. The service can we say obfuscate or mask out, black out the personally identifiable information, such as credit card information or social security card information. This is stuff that we need to make sure we protect. AI can help there. And finally, automation. We certainly hear a lot about this. There's auto ML and auto insights within augmented analytics that AI helps to do the work for you. In this case, being able to take a data set and do the analysis, perform the analysis on that data, be able to produce the charts and graphs and then visualize the data. So you can just select which ones you want to tell your story. And then finally, it also produces the text description in natural language. So just it tells the story of the data in plain English or whatever language you may want it to tell it to you.
And Joey, how will advancements in technology help business leaders to combat data overwhelm and decision fatigue?
Yeah, two things here. I think that I've already talked about AI for natural language, but I'd like to extend that a little bit because it's not only helping with dealing with this overwhelming amount of data, and we know there's value there, not to waste that data, but move past just harvesting the data and getting an insight, help us to take action. You know, a lot of people aren't looking to fall in love with their data. They're not looking to become a data scientist. They just need to get the job done and get the insight that they need in the moment. So one thing that came back in the survey responses that provides a powerful path forward, I think, is that folks reported, don't just give me a number, understand context, understand who I am, what my role is, what my objectives are, where I am in my workflow, and help guide me towards just the resolution of the business problem. So that's one area that can help, is that context for and personalization of who I am. And then lastly, as I said, with natural language, there's also the system being able to work on our terms. Just as you and I are having this conversation, I should be able to have the question in my head and ask it by talking or typing in my language of choice, even if the data is in a different language, and for the system to be able to give me the answers and help me to get my work done.
And finally, where can the audience go to learn more?
You can go to oracle.com.
All right. Joey, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill.